Welcome back to So This is Thailand, and we're here on Expert Advice with more good advice about how to buy gold. Now, actually, we have had this guest on the show before, and we have more questions, so we're very pleased to welcome back Kun Thanarat Pasawong, MD of Hua Seng Heng Group. Welcome once again.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. And I think last time we talked a lot about buying physical gold bars, gold bracelets, ornaments. But what about the way that things have evolved, and now we're more leaning towards buying paper gold?
Right.
Paper.
Right. I would say, or in the more formal term, we would call the financial instruments that related to the underlying asset of gold.
Okay.
So
yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
How is the overview looking, and what kinds of methods are there for investing in gold in this way?
Right. I would have to say, first of all, that the market has shifting also towards the investment side rather than the jewelry sides. The reason for that is because the price has gone up tremendously, and nowadays with the price of the gold swinging quite high, and also the magnitude of swinging is more frequent and the magnitude is quite high. So it's more chance for people to invest more in the short term to make money. So in way of them to go to the gold shops and get the gold and then go back to the office or to home and then go back to sell the gold again is quite difficult.
Right.
So the method of changing, involving the gold price also make the way people trade gold also change.
Yeah.
So becoming, with this, we will say the original way of trading is the gold bullions. It becomes the gold online, it's become the gold on mobile, on tablets,
Yeah.
right? So this is buying actual physical gold, but you just placing an order to the online. And then you can select to leave the gold in the system, or you can select to pick up the gold in one of our branches.
Okay.
That's something you can do. And the way you pay, you can come and pay at the office, or you can pay at the bank, or you can pay it on your mobile, or you can do automatic debiting from the bank.
Wow. So there's a lot of ways to pay as well. And you don't always have to go and take it out. You can just leave it there.
Right. It
and
belongs to you.
Okay. Would your recommendation be for how, say if I'm a complete beginner, how do you get started?
If you walk into my office, first thing I probably have to talk to you first, that how much of a risk appetite are you? Because the good way to invest, we will recommend our clients that it should be the money that is left from your saving, deduct your expenditures. So whatever left, it should be a good money to invest, not loaning the money to invest to get a better, a high return. So nowadays, besides the gold bullion or gold bars that you can buy, there are also ETF, there are also gold futures. Let me explain this to you. Gold ETF and gold bullion buying through online is very similar. It's just that gold online you buy directly from us, the gold shops. But the gold ETF is a product that is structured by the asset management company and is traded in the stock exchange of Thailand. So when the price go up, the stock of the gold will go up. The gold price go down, the stock price will go down.
Okay.
So if you are actually an equity trader or stock trader already in the market, you can easily add another product in your portfolio. And normally I would say when the stock price is down, the gold price is up. It always go in different direction most of the time. So when people sell stocks, they can easily switch to gold by buying gold ETF in the stock exchange. That's one of the benefits. Another benefit is that when you buy gold bars, the minimum you buy now is 5 baht, which is about 100,000 baht, Thai baht. So it's quite expensive for newcomers. So in the ETF, maybe you pay a little bit of the management fees, but you can trade in a smaller scale. For example, the price of the unit may be 2 baht, then you can buy for 10,000 baht, then you can also invest in gold for the same amount of return.
Oh, right.
Right? For futures, I think it's a little bit more sophisticated because in the terms we call it a margin trading. A margin trading meaning if you want to buy a gold for 10 bahts, you only pay the price, you only put down the money for just 1 baht. So there's a leverage in there. So it's very sophisticated, but I think it's also a good way to use at certain times. For example, the gold price has skyrocketed and now you want to jump in. If you want to buy gold, you think the price is so expensive now, how much more you gain, and the return you make maybe not so much with the price of the money you pay is a lot, then gold futures might be an option for you to do. Because in gold futures, instead of investing 100,000 baht, you can put down 10,000 and you can invest the same amount of the weight of the gold that you invest, and you just take away the margin when you gain 100 baht, and you just multiply by the contracts you buy.
So that's kind of for more savvy investors, I would
Yes, more short term also, and also the way to invest is different. That you have to have very high discipline. For example, if you think the gold price is going up, so you buy, we call it the terms of long. You go in and long the position, wanting the price to go up and sell. On the other hand, the price go down. Sometimes you have to cut loss. It's a term that you often hear. You have to cut loss. But on the gold bars, normally you hear people say, invest in gold bars. You never lose, as long as you don't sell the gold bars. So they think because you pay the full amount, when the price is down, you just hold it. So you don't feel like you're losing out. But on the futures, if you don't top up your money, we can cut cut loss your position, so you make loss. So I always tell my clients that this is a term that I always give them, that for gold future is high risk, high expected return, not high return. So
so riskier and also more short term as well when you're talking about gold futures.
Right.
Okay, well, that kind of makes sense. Is there anything else that a new investor should know?
Yeah, so I think for the very, very novice, for a person to come into gold, I would say you have to look at yourself as in terms of saving or in terms of investing first. If for saving, you can also join the gold saving plan, which deducts your money every month at the first week of the month. And then by doing this, we have do the studies, and it's just like a dollar cost average. So when you keep buying at the same time every month for longer terms, you're likely to hit at the market price. So if you think the price will go up according to the inflation, then over the long term, the gold has shown the return of a lot more than the inflation. For example, the gold in the past 5 years has made a return of 17%, and the inflation is around 3%. So you make 14% gain. Yes. And if you are investor, then you have to see if you are long term or a short term. If a long term, maybe gold bar is better for you, but in a short term, maybe futures can be a good use.
Right. So this is a very kind of prominent thing in Thailand, I guess, because people like to buy and sell gold.
Right.
What is it like for a foreigner, an expat, like you say, if they do this here, can they take it out, and how do they go from there?
Yes, I think from what I see in the market, actually the foreigner is quite acquainted with the gold ETF and the exchange trading gold already, because they overseas, I would say, they don't have that much gold shop that sell the physical gold to the retail as much as Thailand. But the retail in the States, they probably, or in the Europe, they actually buy the ETF gold funds already. So for them, just to open an account with us, I think if they are residents, they just have an ID or the work permit. And if it's a juristic, then they need a company registration with the authorized director's paper that's signed. So that should be okay. And then we just need the marketing to go and service them and ask questions and try to see the risk profile of the customer, and also a little bit on the money laundering also that we have to check and see. But that's just a part of the regulations. But I think after that, it should be okay.
Right. So on the reverse side of the kind of safety aspect and making sure you don't get tricked, for a buyer to go to one of the websites or a mobile app to trade, like what do you look for to make sure that you're not getting a fake?
Right. I think for the exchange traded, it's very easy, because all the company has to be registered under for example, the Thailand Future Exchange. So there are a list of company that's certified by the exchange also. But for the gold shops, I think in Thailand there are many gold shops out there, but maybe you choose the big one and the more prominent one, where you buy and then you get your gold, and when you sell, you get your money back. So nowadays becomes online, so you also have to look at the company who actually have maybe a presence office in Thailand, where you can actually go and say, hey, I sent an order. If something error come up, at least someone you can talk to, and you can go by and make sure that your money is not lost.
Right. So obviously one of the more respectable places to trade with would be, of course, your company. And if any of our viewers would like to find out more about you, where can they find you?
The easiest way will be on the website. It's worldwideweb. Our company is Hua Seng Heng, is H in Hong Kong, and UA, S Singapore, ENG, and then H Hong Kong, ENG.com.
Right.
We also have a Facebook and Instagram site. So
Really?
Yes.
What kind of stuff goes on your Instagram?
a lot of good pictures on the new designs, and also sometimes we give them more comments and more, I say, a small joke and inspiration during harsh times.
Oh, that's very nice. And very, as you can see, evolving with the times as well.
Yes.
Thank you very much for joining us today, and I hope you can come back again next time to give us more knowledge.
Okay, welcome. Thanks for having me here.
Stay with us on So This Is Thailand. We'll be right back.
The first inscription stone is a great place to start talking about Thai heritage and our national history. In its writing is the origins of Thai language and descriptions of other things we'll see later on, such as celadon, handmade pottery, and local textiles.
Being the first kingdom of the Thais in this peninsula, Sukhothai has many unique traditions. The ancient heritage and wisdom has survived until today. For example, we can find the distinct Sukhothai style in many local products, such as gold jewelry, ceramics, and textiles.
Even though much of historical Sukhothai is only existing in ancient ruins, much of these traditional heritage is still being practiced here in one of these, you can see, pottery villages, Ban Tung Luang, where they're doing some of the very ancient techniques of tapping pottery instead of forming it on a potter's wheel. Even though only 3 homes here in the village practice this style of making pottery, it's very unique because as opposed to a potter's wheel, which, well, the walls and the base are really perpendicular to each other, by tapping the clay like this, they're able to form a curve on the inside. Now, they also have a special name called Mo Klang, which it means to protect, and you can see on these finished pieces, well, almost finished, the decorations on the outside kind of give a blessing to whatever's put inside. So protection, not only in cleanliness, but also spiritual as well. Another distinctive part of Sukhothai history and the heritage of the arts here is you can see the celadon pottery being done beside me. It's very similar, you might believe, to the Chinese one, but guess what? It's because way back when, over 700 years ago, when Thais were doing trading with China, one of the rich arts that we're able to exchange, and as you can see, still being practiced today with utmost care and detail. Part of what makes this pottery distinctively Sukhothai is, number one, if you see the color, different from the bone white china that you find, this one is more of an off color, kind of a bluish hueish tint to it. About an hour's drive from Sukhothai, you will arrive here in Si Satchanalai, where you can find this recreation of an ancient Thai village. Thai Puang, who are originally from Laos and carry with them a lot of their own traditions and styles. You can see a lot of their instrumentations and tools that they used in daily life. Now, besides this museum, the actual highlight of this area is the Sakhon textile shop. And the highlight of the textile museum is a distinctive style called Pa Hat Siao, and you'll find some very old examples, over 100 years old, including some also made with golden thread. So it's something you don't want to miss. And as a testament to their history and their culture, they brought 8 distinctive styles to their patterns of fabric. And just to prove how good they are, whenever there's competitions here in Thailand, they always come in number 1. And because of this, their popularity is known all over the country. So if you're ever here in Sukhothai, just mention the textiles and they'll be sure to direct you to here. After visiting the museum and seeing all those exquisite pieces and then coming here and seeing them actually being made by hand, you truly appreciate all the time and skill it takes. Even this simple piece takes 2 days to complete. Well, you can see how special it is because fewer and fewer people can practice it every year. These old traditional methods are what keep this, well, ancient and beautiful art alive. So you can take home some of this history and living heritage to enjoy it for many days to come. We'll have to see you next time though. That's all from here. Back to the studio.